begin with. Sorry, my
Well,
voice is really
we know
hoarse
that
today.
part.
So.
We know that part already. They captured the Dragon Queen to make her make eggs to make more dragons. We knew that part. Yeah, we knew that part from the very beginning.
But it would be nice. I think we need. Let's see what one more piece of information gets us. Right. Either by doing research and the librarian, or going and actually checking out like the Topaz area and seeing what that's like.
Well, we do have to do that.
I think, yeah. I think we need to do some investigation still on that.
I'm sure it's fine. You don't need to investigate anything.
Of course not. That'd be too easy. How you doing? Welcome back.
I'm doing well. Sorry, I'm a little late. Who would like to recap what happened last time? I hit the live
Not
button as
Vigo.
soon as I heard you guys talking about the game.
Not Vigo.
I think it should be Silas.
All right. Well, we went to the White Dragon area. Was able to work out a way to save the Dragon Rider's soul, essentially. And from there, we know that there is that Aiden overhears everything and is kind of has the country under more of his thumb than we think. That's my summary of what happened last time.
Pretty solid. You guys were able to release Seza from her bond with Aiden, it appears. The dragon is currently with Lendis. We do not have Albero with us tonight, as he got Wisdom Tooth removed, I believe it was.
We wish him the best.
100%. So you guys are back in Vluxfer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And what would you guys like to do?
Well, we had discussed initially, and I will defer, of course, to our beautiful and lovely and capable, knowledgeable Drake Warden for this. But some initial discussion was the next place to go after. With the look at the map, so far we've been avoiding any territories that directly connect to the red zone, where we think Aiden is with his two henchmen. So we had been tackling everything except places that touch that, which means the Topaz area would be the next dragon on our list, because it's the only one that does not share a border with the red dragon zone. I believe that's our next move, would be Topaz. So I defer to our Drake Warden to explain to us what it is that Topaz dragons do. I don't know if she heard me or if anybody else actually heard me say all that.
I heard you say everything.
Thank you very much. Okay. And I know she may not be feeling well, and I don't think I've heard her speak yet, so I'm not even sure if she's listening to us.
I'm dealing with kid stuff. Just a minute. Sorry.
No worries.
No problem. No problem. So for those of you who are considering in real life having wisdom teeth removed, one of the recommendations for recovery is frozen peas. Bags of frozen peas. You can press them up against the side of your face to try to knock down the swelling that may occur as a result thereof. And they are malleable so you kind of form it into your face. If you just take a water bottle, got a lot of straight edges and doesn't necessarily get you the relief you want. That's the best advice I could give anybody as far as recovering from wisdom teeth.
I don't want to share all.
So I'm curious, is there a religious library at the Citadel that we're at?
What exactly are you trying to look up?
So we're having an out of game conversation about what is the motives of Aiden, and I wanted to see if I can look and glean if there's any relationship between the Church of Bane and any summoning rituals that might be in effect, or if there's like a certain time of year that could potentially be soon to like summon Bane or any special holidays of that nature.
Okay. There would be religious texts in the temple. However, anything on like one of the more unsavory gods would be usually restricted. Oh, excuse me. However, with your reputation, you'd be able to get access under supervision.
Who's supervising him?
Supervising whom?
That would actually be what's his face? It's been a while since I've had to mention his name. The dragon daddy, essentially.
Who's higher up in the organization besides like the two dragons and
Well, he's
Vance.
the one who would be watching.
yeah, the two dragons and Vance.
Yeah. Miramon. Miramon would be the one with you during this in the temple in the library for the religious texts.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. Welcome back.
I put in the game chat channel what Mel would tell you guys about topaz dragons.
My lady Melisande is quite well informed on these, as one would no doubt expect from such an experienced and a knowledgeable Drake Warden of her caliber.
However, make an investigation check, Silas, as you're looking for
Okay.
the clues for this.
Hold on.
I'm slacking. I forgot to grab water. First roll of the night.
Yeah, I'm loading the character sheet. Sorry, my computer's a little slow tonight.
No worries.
Investigation?
Yes, sir. Do you have disadvantage?
That's gonna. No, it would have been normal.
So 24. Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't take you long as you're looking through these texts and whatnot to find information on Bane. Usually anyone who tries to directly summon or talk with Bane, from what has been discovered, they're usually corrupted in some way, shape, or form. To the point where it has been known in the past for Bane to completely take over someone who tries to communicate with them.
You're
There's
talking topaz dragons?
I thought he was looking for information on Bane and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I
Then-
think he was. I'm just making sure I didn't
Oh.
get confused because I was reading the entry for topaz dragons.
Oh yeah, no, the Topaz Dragon entry is completely different.
Okay.
This is if you're trying to talk to or summon Bane in some way, shape, or form. Bane does not come himself when he is summoned. He usually will send a proxy or an avatar of some sort. But it usually does not take long for the avatar to corrupt the entity that summons it.
So, if we knew that Aiden was good at one point, then maybe it could be that he talked to Bane in exchange for more power and used that power to catch the dragons. And now is controlling this area just to have control and to convert it slowly over to the Church of Bane. By whatever means possible.
Sure, but then why have the Obsidian Dragon blow the whole region to dust? And why have the Emerald Dragon blow the main city to dust? Compared to subjugating them, which I mean, we've seen in other places they could easily do, even if there was resistance.
I would say that we don't have enough information about those. We could maybe go back to the Emerald Dragon and ask him why he did it, besides that he didn't like people. And that could be another entrance into the gleaming and the machinations of Aiden.
That's true. We can ask him. Because it sounded like the White, they legitimately said he had almost nothing to do with them. And they were in the cold area to not die. Yeah, okay. Can we ask, what's his name?
Cedavan?
Yeah, Cinnamon. Let's ask Cinnamon.
Are you
What?
popping over, or are you just like messaging him or whatever? Like sending or whatever?
Whoever wants it, we can pop over. There's no difference.
Okay.
There's no difference. Yeah, let's pop over. We can ask him, like, what? Why did Aiden take over the continent?
His main goal was just power. And
But, like,
Oh.
how?
He arranged a coup, with Dragon Rider, some which are still alive, some which are dead, to by using their abilities and power, they were able to take over the continent. He did not care what we did, as long as we subjugated to him.
Okay. What? So he wanted power, but hasn't used it.
Correct. For some reason, he has just been sitting in his citadel, his temple, home, whatever you want to call it, and he has not ventured out too much that I know of. Once in a while, he will make rounds, but it's very few and far between.
Okay. Okay. I got Noah's motive.
What was that?
I got Noah's motive.
Okay, go.
He's crazy. He wants power. So he will do things to gain said power, like we have seen him do.
Okay.
But he does not need to wield said power. He just wants it.
He has
Okay,
it.
so
He has it, my friend.
And well, yes, he has that power, but he's not using said power. But
okay.
it, like, yeah, that fits with everything we've seen so far. There's no of the, like, but why did he do this then? There's none of that. He has the power. He just has no use for it. Because we haven't seen him use it in any way. And no one that we've talked to and no information source we've had so far, and our information is pretty good comparatively, has shown what he's done with said power. He's just wanted it. So I think he's a little crazy and power hungry, but not for anything specific.
Okay, so trying to follow that thread, he has divided the continent into 12 territories. And he did that in order to gain power over the whole continent.
Yes.
We have been able to liberate and remove his power from 5 out of 12 locations.
Correct. With resistance from what he put there.
Well, I understand that part, but
It's not what he gives us. Yep.
okay, we've successfully removed 5 out of 12 of his power bases. We've almost taken half the continent away from him.
Yes.
But he hasn't reacted to it.
Correct.
If he wanted power,
Well,
why is he seceded almost half of his power base?
he did react the last time.
In what
Specifically,
way?
The little weird messenger thingy.
Okay, so what you're telling me is, by the same token, if country X, you know, if country X invades country Y, country orange invades country purple,
Yep.
and takes half of country purple,
Yes.
okay, and
Yep.
the leader says, well, I showed up on a TV news broadcast denouncing the invasion.
Correct.
And
I do know where you're going. Yep.
and that's all his reaction was, is just to firmly state that he did not approve of what has been happening. And the rest of the world's supposed to sit back and look at him and go, yeah, no, he's totally fine.
But in the same vein, that we've probably have done this in over a month, taken out
We have done this
5
very
of the
quickly.
12.
Yes, we have done this very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So he could still be trying to figure out what his next steps are before, because right now we're doing very much guerrilla warfare. He's probably going to show up soon.
I'm just saying, you know,
Yes.
you
as a player, I know if I wanted to move it into the terms of purple invades orange, takes over half of Orange's country. Why is Orange not doing anything? And then my answer would be Orange is building a nuke, and for some reason that stops their own army.
okay, but hold on.
That would be my solution. That would be my answer to that initiation of. He's building power in a way that's taking away his attention right now.
Okay, I would offer that he has at his command, and with only a couple days to need to gather them, 9 more dragons, because he's got 1 per territory, plus he's got 2 extra guys that ride around with him. He's got 9 B-2 stealth bombers that he can roll in on a few days' notice and level anything he wants to.
Sure.
Anywhere on the continent, and we haven't even seen one come overhead. So
Even how badly we are at stealth, I think we're faster than a lot of, if you could send things, about how he can send things places. I don't think all of those Dragon Riders have long-range teleportation abilities. I think he has the ability to teleport himself. I think he has the ability to teleport the dragons to him. I don't think he can pick them up and put them places.
don't know. Just saying.
It's like, I think we are outmaneuvering the enemy. is how I would do it. I think we are actually outmaneuvering the enemy.
I'm gonna let you keep thinking that.
Like, speed-wise. Speed-wise. Because, like, we're popping all over the world in seconds. There's not many beings that can outmaneuver our party right now. Like, we shut down the whole Obsidian Dragons operation in an hour. We then, the next day, popped over and liberated the White Dragons area. Also, more or less in, like, we could have done it in, like, an hour.
Argue there was probably a few days in between because we had to do some shopping and getting
Sure.
preps for supplies.
Yeah, we
But
were
still a
and
few days compared to
those days we were completely
months.
not in the enemy territory. We were like wherever, right? So it's like we'd be hard to like if you're working on like at best like maybe sending messages as your communication with sendings. That's a hard maybe because a lot of them it was just like, oh, do these dragons have that kind of communication network? We saw that Aiden's communication network was a little minion dude that flew there after some amount of time had passed. Right?
You would have seen that it was an illusion.
Right, it was an illusion, but did it appear there?
Yes.
Or did it fly there? I thought it flew there.
No, it appeared there.
It appeared there, okay. Well, that's also him having specifically to do something. And I'm assuming he's occupied at the moment. So if we take him out of the equation, if we take his ability out of the equation, assuming he is focused on something, I think we're outmaneuvering everything else.
Then I'm scared of what it is that he's focused on, which is so much more important that he's willing to secede nearly 50% of his subordinates.
Exactly that. Which is why we have some dragon killing to do.
I'm just saying, from my professional standpoint, if one family makes a move against another, usually doesn't get to the point where you've taken out 5 people of one family or clan before there's a lot of blood in the streets. So just saying, we've kind of stretched this bowstring about as far as I think we're going to get to, and it's going to come snapping back at us pretty fast.
I'm expecting there should be some kind of snapback, but I'm thinking we're in the, like, they're still reacting to our hits. And I'm thinking we're actually hitting fast enough that the snapback, yes, it's coming, but I don't think it's like, I don't think it's like not there or something we're missing. I'm thinking it's taking them a little longer than we're expecting for that to snap back at us.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we research the main city of the Topaz region? I think we got a lot of that basic information from Sitovan the first time we talked to him.
Yeah, the main city of the Topaz region is Barnacle Bay. It used to be a trade port way long ago. Now the port entry is guarded and shut down. No ships in or out. All their trade is now land-based instead of sea-based, due to them fearing an invasion at that point, even though they don't think it's highly likely.
Shall we go to Barnacle Bay?
Do we have any other information on it?
That's the biggest stuff. Cedavon has not been in there in a very long time.
I would say, yeah, then I don't see why. Mel, do you think going to Barnacle Bay is a good idea?
Is that to me?
No, yes.
Sure. I'm having a hard time concentrating. There's been a lot going on in the background.
Sorry about that. You were quiet, so I didn't want you to feel forgotten.
No, it's okay.
Silence from your department, based on the information that Melisande shared with us, being as the dragon deals in necrotic energies and destruction, is there any spells you would want to prepare instead of your normal list
That's
before
a good
we depart?
question. But unfortunately, all the spells that I have that are necrotic based are imbued to me by my goddess, and so I can't really take those away. Um, that being said, I still have a lot of fire based damage I can work off of.
Okay.
And I still think I have greater restoration as well, if not lesser restoration. Let me double check that real quick.
Vigo's comforted to hear that. What I was going to say actually was that, let's see if I can see that point where, where's that? Where was that in? Was that the game chat itself? Where was that giant dump of data? Was that in Discord?
The
It's in
game
the
channel.
type chat of the voice channel.
Okay, got it. So what Melisande explained was Topaz Dragons prize information on destruction and creation, whether abstract or dedicated to practical applications. They're fascinated by magic that creates objects from nothing, animates undead, or destroys matter, or manipulates negative energy. So for the wiggly finger types, do we have anything? I mean, does this sound like something, is there some conversation we could have with this dragon? Because maybe we've learned that we don't always have to get into, I'm sorry, Albero, we don't always have to get into a knockdown, drag out slugfest to, win the dragon over. If this is something that we can appeal to a different aspect of this dragon's nature, we might be able to reason with this thing.
So, both times we've defeated a dragon rider without killing them have been through god level intervention. Now, I think that's a great idea, but we need to figure out how.
Okay, when you say both times, remind me what those both times were.
So last time with the white one, it was Lendy's, right?
But Lendy's
the dragon, broke the curse and fixed the dragon.
I thought the spell remove curse is what released the dragon rider.
No, the spell remove curse
Greater
fixed her. Fixed her cold problem. It fixed her cold problem after she was lifted from the dragon rider curse thingy.
Okay.
And then the first time was with
the Emerald Dragon contract?
Yeah, was with Asmodeus level demon contract magic.
devil contract.
Yeah.
Demons don't make contracts.
Yes.
Devils do. So just to be
Yep.
fair.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So,
So
but that's fine, and you're correct on that. But I'm just saying, within their nature, dragons are, quote, Melisande said, they're fascinated by this kind of conjuration or whatever magic sword is that makes things, I think conjuration, appear, who creates things from nothing or manipulates negative energy. So is this something we can do? Can we, the dragon wants to destroy things so that the land can grow anew. So they speed up destruction.
But normally,
apparently then let things grow back on their own.
a normal topaz dragon would want that to happen.
Okay.
I don't think any of the dragons we've encountered are anywhere near their normal version. I don't think any of them have exhibited normal behaviors for their color and type. At least not until we've freed them, and then afterwards maybe.
Okay, so just saying, is this something we need to think about, or is this an option we can leave on the table, or
we need to figure out how to break that curse.
Okay.
If we don't want to just kill them, we need to figure out how to break that curse.
Well, that seems to be killing.
Well,
Aiden and the big red dragon, and that should break it at that point. We figure, but we're kind of getting that direction. What about the thing about they could swim, but they hate getting wet?
That probably seems more like a preference than the actual issue.
I'm just saying, I mean, is there something we can do to? Oh, here we can create this magic air bubble around you, so you don't actually get wet when you have to go diving in the water, but you can still, grab a giant squid and bring it back to the surface if you want.
Those kind of let's appeal to it as a person, I think will only work if we have a way to break that curse. Without a way to break that curse, those are kind of pointless.
Then we have to go the Albero route.
We have to do something akin to that, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if we really want to. I mean, we could send all of these dragons to Lendy's, and I think that would be a great idea. I am 100% down to throwing a bunch of chromatic and psionic dragons at Lendy's. I think that's the best idea anyone's ever had.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Badly at the end of the day.
I'm just trying to toss ideas on the table to make sure that we're looking at every option and possibility for how to get in this thing and maybe not have to go toe to toe with these things. Just my thought. It's my nature to, look at things from different angles.
Hope's vote is throw them all at Lendy's. Lendy's cured one of them. He could probably cure the rest. He's a good dragon. Actually, he's not a good dragon. He's a lawful dragon. He might just disintegrate them. That'd be funny. But that wouldn't really solve our issue, would it?
No, okay, so that's fine. I just, like I said, Silas, I just want to make sure you felt like you had reviewed this new information from our Drake Warden, who it's always wonderful to have around, and have made a decision based on your spell list that you're happy with what you got.
Well, the only thing that I'm worried about is I have greater restoration. I can slot in lesser restoration. I'm trying to figure out what to take out for it, and I'm thinking banishment would be good to take out because I don't really use it that often. But
sure,
I think greater restoration is just going to be fine, and then all my healing spells as well.
We have needed greater restoration a lot more than I would have thought.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for making
I
you
can cast
guys use
Greater
your
Restoration
abilities.
until-
No,
I can cast Greater Restoration a total of 5 times with upcasting it.
okay, that's fine.
I think. And yeah, I have Diamond Dust as well. Made sure to get that.
Okay, just like I said, just throwing ideas out on the table, trying to look at this problem from every angle we have. So if we want to go to Barnacle Bay, then let's head off to Barnacle Bay and see what is to be seen.
Yeah, we can go look at Barnacle Bay. That's an option. I think it's a good idea. It'll give us something to look at. We can get a grasp of what we're dealing with this next one to see if they're even, if we even want to try to save them. Because if we drop over there and it's similar to the Obsidian Dragon, it's just like, oh, well, they've kind of done this of their own free will. Okay. So it's probably good to take a look at them, then we can weigh our options of like, do we want to save this dragon or do we want to just kill them? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We all go Barnacle, a little bit outside of Barnacle Bay on a trade road because you said they're still doing land trade. So yeah, trade road a little bit out of the way. Yeah. Whew.
That's a big city.
We'll say you guys are roughly out this way, kind of near this little hamlet of a couple farmers.
Which one? I didn't see a thing.
Oh,
To zoom out.
like upper right.
Ah, there it is.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let's take a minute. Silas, you like to till the land and such, if I recall correctly. But how do you think they're doing on crops out here? Because this looks like a big agricultural area around here.
Does the city look like this?
Yes, the city looks like this.
Okay.
Like
It's not a
you see,
ruined wasteland of doom.
no, look at like there are crops growing in the fields. There are people traveling. You see there are guards checking people in at the gates ahead.
Do they look undead?
From your distance, you can't really tell, but I would say no.
Wait, does who look undead? The people in the field or the guards at the gate?
Well, any of them. Because
None
like
of
I'm
them.
just looking at the topaz stuff. It's like, oh, they like animate undead and destroy matter and nothing. So I was like, oh, look, are they undead?
Nope, none of them seem to be undead.
Got
Okay. Okay, so Silas, what do you see?
I'm gonna investigate the crops, see if they're doing good, and do the people look haggard at all, like they're being forced to work, or is it just normal day, normal life?
Looks like normal day, normal life, business as usual.
The crops seem to be good, and the people seem to be good. The only other thing is we probably have to pay to enter in the city.
Well, that's another question that Vigo would like to kind of take a peek at. You say the guards are checking people into the city. Are they stopping them to look at a pass? Is there a badge of some kind they seem to be showing, or is it just poke into the cart a little bit precariously
You guys are
or
way too far
perfunctorily?
away to get details like that.
Okay, so that's just the question I would have is initially, you know, uh, how close we have to get to be able to see something like that, because if, the pedestrians have to show some kind of paperwork or a badge to get in, that means we need to get in some other way because we don't have those. Or, uh, if it's just perfunctory, check of do you have weapons on you versus, poke into the cart to make sure you're not smuggling something in under the hay kind of a thing. So That's Vigo's curiosity. When we have time to get close enough, that's what I'd like to focus on looking at.
Okay, yeah. As you get closer, they don't seem to be some merchants do seem to have like a piece of paper or a badge of some sort. Some people offer over coins. The guards check out the cards real quick and then they're rolled into the city.
Oh, next question, real fast. I know that Vigo has been collecting coins from some of the Crown Royal bags of holding. Coins are different on this continent than they are at Luxor.
Nah, we're not gonna get that difficult.
I also think did we get any coins that aren't on from this continent?
Not really.
I would
Like-
say the same thing. Like, is this the same continent that we've been on?
Like even in your early days when you were in like, hold on a sec, sorry. Even in your early days when you guys like went to Quaning and Venzer and all that, there was never any. Those coins are still similar to what you've found here. It doesn't seem to that Aiden has installed his own currency system.
Okay, so we're not dealing with Aiden bucks.
No.
Okay, I just want to check because if we do need coins in this continent, then Vigo has them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to raise by walking up to the Italian gate guard and trying to hand him a French franc, which would say, "Ha, you're not from here. You're screwed." Great.
Yeah, he has not made Electrum the primary money yet.
Darn, I'm stockpiling that stuff too. Okay. Okay, so what is our cover story? And we have Hope with us, or we have Mood with us?
Hope's been floating around. Mood shows up when you're sleeping, so at night. But during the day, it's usually home.
Okay, that's fine. But I prefer to have Hope in this case. All right. Are we? I don't want to say tourists. Are we just in from the outlying area shopping for the day? If we get asked.
Is there a purpose for going through the gate?
Check out the city.
Well, I mean, we can get into the city. It's just more of a question of like, is there a purpose for doing the shtick of going through the gate?
Well, I mean, it's if we walk in like normal, the more normal we seem, the more normal we are, and the less we have to make excuses for why did you suddenly appear in the middle of the town square?
Yeah, but we can appear invisible in the middle of the square, find a place to hide. I mean, I could pop this into a place no one can see us. Or we could pop in over 100 feet. A mound of lions could appear and start ravaging through the city, and then us popping in.
You could kill people.
They wouldn't kill people. They'd just be going and licking people, and they would be fine because they would just be actual cats. I'm saying, like, there's a billion ways we can get into that city, completely seen, completely unseen, and yeah.
I think it also gives us more information if we go through the guards and see what type of city this is.
Thank you,
we
my friend.
could just we could easily say that we're here to get provisions for one of the outlying churches in the nearby cities. Or in one of the small villages, I need to get some more funeral shrouds at most.
How about candles? But let's not raise too many questions about funeral shrouds. Then they start asking questions about, why do you need so many more funeral shrouds? Do you have a pestilence or a plague? We need more candles for the, for the church or the people, something. I like the idea. That's a good cover. So why don't we do that? But I agree. We get more information walking through the gate, looking like normal people, and we kind of see if they arouse suspicion, and we gotta get the hell out of Dodge. Then we do that, and we can use the rampaging lions as a distraction later. But let's not go too far too hard.
Should I not look like this then?
I would very much like you to look as normal as possible, as similar to Saint Melisande without being her twin.
Because right now I'm a
Would
30
probably-
foot tall, big green woman.
Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad thing.
I-
Yeah, that's why I asked if it was mood or hope, because when we have hope with us, kind of figure she's, normal size for a big, without, drawing attention to herself by being Ant Woman. Um, so I was thinking she's more human sized. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so Hope will shrink down. She kind of looks elven now, no longer green. This better?
Much better. Yes, thank you very much. That's very, very good, and enhances the disguise. So, friend Silas, why don't you uh, lead us off as on our journey to the city to get candles?
All right, that sounds good to me. I'll lead the way, and so we're coming through one of these gates, I'm assuming.
Yes, you're closest to this gate.
Keep an eye out to make sure no one's tailing us or anything of that nature.
Perception check.
Can this not be?
No, you don't have reliable talent.
I'll take a 10. Oh no, a 16 with a 1.
Jeez.
Okay. Looking around, it doesn't appear that you guys are being followed as you head to the gate. Um. Oh wow,
Two
we're
nat
rolling some
ones?
nat
Wow.
ones to this today. All of a sudden the dragons
Oh,
appear.
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good lord. All right, burn the dice early. Let's go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This
Um.
pick must be contagious to the game. Oh my gosh.
As you get closer to the gate, you do hear, the guards asking, "State your business," to other people trying to enter the city, yada yada. It doesn't seem like anybody's getting turned away. Um, the guards do seem to be directing, not just into this district, but other districts as well. Like you're gonna go in, head to the west, go through that gate to get into the church district or whatever the case may be. Um, so as you approach, the guard goes, "Greetings. What's your business here in Barnacle Bay?"
We're here to get some supplies for one of the small churches nearby.
Very well. Um, he looks you over and says, "I do not see you wearing the symbol of Bane."
Um, it, did you not hear about the attacks that have been happening recently along the roads?
Roll a deception
Especially
check.
out.
Thinks for a second, says, "I haven't, but if members of the church are being targeted, I completely understand." All right, so we'll come in. You're going to head directly to the west. Being members of the church, you are not required to pay a toll to get in. Head directly to the west, go to the west gate, and let them know where you are headed. They will take care of you.
All right, and I bow and scurry past before I say something.
You all are ushered in as you hear the gate greet the next person in the line.
See, we got some information once we're out of earshot of the guards and kind of get lost in the shuffle and bustle of the city. Um, this is controlled by the Church of Bane, as the other cities have been controlled.
Yep. Okay. So that's good. What to do? Vigo makes a mental note to pick up a couple of symbols of the Church of Bane somewhere. I'm sure there'll be something somewhere that we can buy a symbol. Probably when we go somewhere. Okay. So I guess we're headed to the west gate, so we're going this way. Is that correct?
Yes.
Just look around. Try to see, does activity look like what I'd normally expect to see in a city?
Yeah, it seems to
Uh,
be, for lack of a better word, normal.
Can I ask what this structure is here?
Uh, the gate here is heavily guarded. Um, you're not sure, but it looks to be a keep of some sort.
And is this inner wall around this gate, is it more significant than the outer wall we just came through?
About the same.
Okay. Okay. So that would make sense that you would have an inner keep structure of some kind. And then the other wall we're approaching here, again, about the same as the outer wall.
Yes.
Okay.
Heavily guarded keep. Does it look normal?
Define normal.
Like not. It looks like a keep and not like an extra dimensional or building, similar to the one we found in.
A&D's.
Yeah.
Um, it looks like an actual key.
Sorry, Mel, it's not Cinderella's palace. Or Cinderella's castle from Disney. Okay. What kind of
Yeah,
neighborhood are we
Cinderella
walking
girl.
through? As we travel through this, what kind of neighborhood is this right here?
This seems to be more of the high end uh homes and districts and whatnot.
Are the people, and I'll nudge Silas, and because I know he sees things better than I do. Do the people seem to be openly wearing symbols of Bane? Are they medallions? Are they, badges they wear? Is it a necklace?
You don't see a
I don't.
whole bunch of that here, no.
Okay, so it's not prominent. Okay, interesting. Lead on, good friar.
Look at it oddly, but head towards the west gate along this path. Um, so once we get into like the church area, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna find some candles and maybe pick up a symbol of Bane or two for uh, new members of the flock.
I was debating on putting the church building into the harbor.
I like that plan.
Okay, hold on. Now, wait a minute. Let's talk this over. This is called reconnaissance, scoping out the area, getting the lay of the land. This is the soft touch approach. This is not, because Albero's not here, drop the hammer. So because we don't even know what we're gonna find. You start tossing objects around. We're not sure what kind of response we're gonna get because we don't even know what we're looking at. So this is look first, then figure out how to strike. Make sense?
Is that the hammer?
The hammer comes later. Right now, this is the soft touch. This is the look, don't touch phase where we're gathering information so that when we do drop the hammer, we drop the hammer on the right location, not miss the hammer strike. And
I don't have to touch the building to put it into the harbor.
Look with your eyes, don't touch anything, and don't not touch anything without touching things. So, no wiggly finger stuff unless we need to, and I'll let you know when we need to.
Yeah.
Do I really have to go through the same lectures with you that I had to go through with Mood? I mean, can't you like talk to him and get him to explain what I explained? Because there were lessons and lectures we had to go through. So you're telling me you're no better than him? That he was able to grasp the concept quicker than you do, and you're less intelligent than Mood?
Oh, probably. Intelligence has never been my forte. Fun has been
Uh-huh.
my forte.
I see. Okay, well, right now this is the no fun part. Sorry. No fun. Okay. So we're looking only. We're not touching things, and we're not touching things. So no, don't move anything unless we tell you to.
It's like, okay, fine. And then a
Yes.
tiger just appears like next to her, and she's like, no, you can't have fun. And then they pet it, and it just disappears again.
Okay, we need to move on because looks around nervously to see if someone saw the tiger. Take that for a
Would other
no.
people be able to see the tiger?
When it appeared, yeah. Yeah, the tiger just kind of appeared. It appeared, it looked sad that it didn't get to go to have fun, and then it disappeared again.
Okay. Nobody
Open
seems
display of
nobody
magic.
seems to react to it.
Oh, good. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to we're looking for candles. So as much as I may never say anything honest in my life, that's the one thing we're also going to do is look for candles.
Fine. Head to the gate and look around to get my bearings again, but go up to the gate guard and wait for him to ask me what's going on.
Yeah. As you're already in the city, it's a lot easier to go between the districts. The portcullis is open. They're mainly just like observing to make sure there's nothing really shady going on.
Perfect. Keep walking.
Okay. With a little bit of pep in my step.
There
Not
you
pep,
go.
purpose.
There
Purpose in
you
my step.
go. Purpose. Excellent. Excellent. Purpose. Purpose is always good to have. Just walk casually, like you're going someplace that you know. Okay, so what are we? I would just we can go counterclockwise around, looking to see what we see. If we see a candle shop or whatever, what else we're observing.
Are
What are,
the specific buildings specific?
yeah, I was gonna say,
No,
is this pink
no,
thing something, or that just
no,
happened to be there?
no. Just happens to be there. There are
Okay,
a whole bunch of houses in this district. Um, Not nearly as fancy as the upper class district. But this is definitely a more religious section of the city. You do see people openly wearing the symbol of Bane in here.
okay,
Um, Everybody seems to be happy. Like, yeah, you get the once every once in a while you get the person who looks kind of down and downtrodden or whatever, but nobody looks oppressed.
okay. Um, Vigo would like to nudge Silas and kind of, jerk his head toward the church, this light blue building here, and say something like, "Did it used to be something else?"
Um, I would like to see if I can do a religion check to see if that's they repurposed the church recently.
Okay.
Okay.
Looking at
15 on
it,
religion.
it doesn't look as though it's been repurposed recently. It seems to be well established for quite some time. But it definitely is a Church of Bane.
How long ago was the Dragon Rebellion?
Was it built as a Church of Bane?
Make a history check or investigation, either or.
Jesus.
Really looking at the church. Hope you really can't tell unless you got other
No
proof.
idea.
Yeah, hope you have no idea. Silas, kind of like looking at where the symbol for Bane is on the church. You can see a very faded, like possible symbol of something else behind it. But it's really old as far as how long it's been there. Get some rest, Mel.
Rest. Thanks for showing up when you could.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of how to say this, but again, when was the dragon rebellion happened?
If you want me
I
to
want
answer, it's over 500, around 500 years ago.
I said it's a couple hundred years ago.
Okay. Uh, it's, I mean, it's been the Church of Bane for a while now. Um, it's probably started about a couple. There used to be something else, but it's hard to make out what it was during that time period.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Mel. We'll yeah. That I don't think we're we're avoiding fights as best as Vigo can. So, like I said, this is the
So
no
I'm
fun
not
time.
going to go into the church and opening up with fireball.
Yes, please don't. Uh, do I really have to reel you in too?
No, that was me doing that.
Oh. No, because he went in and opened up that one the very first time he walked in and just what was it, wall of flamed
Oh yeah,
everything?
I forgot about that.
Roasted everybody.
They
One
deserved it.
round, walked out, done.
They deserved it.
Well, yeah, I know they did. I'm just saying, but I
Yeah,
mean that was
at
Silas.
first.
That was Silas. He did that one. Okay. Let's try to find that candle shop.
We'll see if we can find a nondescript candle shop and a religious um, supply depot.
We'll say for the sake of this big glowy building here, does have some religious magical items.
Ooh, awesome.
You're able to find simple reagents that you may use for most religious spells and things like that.
Okay. Do they have symbols of Bane that we've observed on other people?
They would actually.
Okay. Vigo would like to use a few of the local coinage to make sure that we purchase, I'll say 8. Because we were not allowed to wear ours. If question, I'll explain, we weren't allowed to wear ours on the roads because of fear of bandits, because we've been hearing rumors. But we do have a few new people that need them as well back home.
Spreading the word, that is very good of you.
Yes. But
Oh.
and then once purchased one, would be happily put one on now while we're in the city to make sure that people understand we are in good standing. So, but I'll remember to take it off before I get back on the road again. Got to stay safe, right? So, and then we'll get some candles if whatever. Let Silas poke around and point out a few things. If there's something you specifically want, I'd be happy to purchase it. But make sure we toss in some candles of various sizes. Um,
Think of as we have a letter for the mayor of this town, and I was wondering if you know where the mayor happens to live.
Oh yes, of course. Mayor currently lives in the keep.
That makes sense. That is understandable. Sorry, we're just from a small town, and we're just lost in this huge city.
Oh, if you're from a small town, this must be quite a change for you. You should head over to the trade district. They usually have some good items that you may not normally find in a smaller town. They would
Keep that
could
in
be
mind
useful
as I pay
for
a
keeping you protected while on the road.
good to know. Good to know. I'll pay him a gold.
Before we do it, who
Uh,
would we be addressing as mayor? So we know who to ask for.
Well, if we just said we have a letter for the mayor, unless the letter is addressed Dear Mayor of Barnacle Bay, would presume that whoever wrote the letter would know the mayor's name. So it would be a bit odd to ask, what is the mayor's name?
Again, we're kind of just letter couriers, right?
Well, I understand that. Would you say, but I mean, wouldn't someone have said, go take this to Bob Smith? He's the mayor of Barnacle Bay. So we would have learned the name that way. Sorry, it's me
All right.
metagaming a little bit. That's fine. So the question has been asked. I'll let it stand. But in the back of his head, Vigo's just mentally slapping him, face palming, going, crap, that was a dumb question.
It could so you could also have been told by the person who's quote unquote hiring you guys to deliver the letter, hey, you need to bring this to the mayor of Barnacle Bay, and not give you a name. That's also possible as well. I get where you're
True,
coming
but
from though, so like
I kind of think I'd say, does the mayor have a name? You know, and if you didn't seal the letter, it doesn't stop me from cracking that bad boy open. But that's just Vigo. I didn't crack it open anyway and reseal it because that's still Vigo. Um, but okay, that's
it's
fine.
also a yeah. I pay a gold for the candles and the prayer beads and the prayer badges.
okay. Yeah, all mundane
Okay,
doesn't cost much.
that's fine. Was there anything else you wanted specifically from the shop there? Anything? Because you just said um, mundane. Silas, is there anything here that's not mundane that would benefit you?
No, I already took care of a lot of stuff that's not mundane. From the last time we were to last time we needed to stock up. I'm just a simple cleric after all. I'm trying to make ends meet by being a letter courier even.
Is there anything in eyesight that's very unusual, very magical, very like not mundane?
Yeah, there are they have mostly like just spell reagents in here for religious spells. Um mm, he would tell you that if you're looking for like magical items, you'd want to go to the trade district. That's where most of those things would be.
And where is that located? I'm presuming the waterfront.
The trade district is to the yes, the water district right here.
Okay.
Like market stalls and things like that. And then they would tell you that this is the main residential district on the far east there.
Okay. And is this the Coliseum?
Yes.
Is there anything happening at the Coliseum in the near future?
Asking around, you will find out that there um should be a tournament within the next month or so. There's
Okay, great.
nothing immediate.
I see. Okay. And what would that sounds exciting. What would we expect to see at the tournament?
They'll pit beasts against each other, some mercenary groups against each other. Those are always fun. Uh, every once in a while, if there's some criminals that have been sentenced to life, they will be in there as well.
Fighting for reduced sentence or freedom.
Yes, if they are successful in other trials, they are set free. Having
All the
served,
trials. So they multiple trials.
yes,
Ah,
for the criminals have multiple trials that they must go
most interesting. I see. And what will you be attending? Is this a good sport
through.
to see?
Good sport, yes. I personally will not be in attendance. It makes my stomach churn.
I see that. What wow. Some of those can get very violent, and good folk are not always used to such things. The baser instincts do not appeal to some of the more sophisticated folk, as I've learned in my journeys and my associations with the good father here, who leads me to believe in a more intellectual and refined personalities are not so attracted to those type of events, yourself included, of course. Do I get to roll deception with an advantage?
Go for it.
I'll take my 26.
Yeah. It's very good to see another one of pure mind.
Thank you again, good merchant, for your time and trouble today, and for being so open and sharing. Good cleric, I believe we are done here. Let us away to the market stalls and see what else we can find, which may aid our flock.
Sounds good to me. I'll bow and thank him and mutter some things under my breath as we're leaving.
Okay, so proudly displaying the symbol of Bane, a necklace or badge or whatever it is we bought. Make sure that people see that we're good subjects, good faithful. Is this a gate here?
Where? Ping it again? Yes.
Okay, because otherwise we got to go down here and then through that, and I don't even know what this is. That's a good question. So detour, what is this?
That's actually the prison area.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looks like either guardhouse protecting the entryway or something, but that's fine. Okay,
Yep. So
that's
this
fine.
here is a prison building, and then this is like the barracks and whatnot.
Okay. Presume that for the defense of the water entrances in this area here, and this would be, I presume, a larger barracks area for the same thing.
If you were to ask around, you would find out that actually the prison goes underground.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, of course. You've got big, tall rocks and great big cliffs. What better place to put prisoners than underground, unless they're dwarves? I've heard things about dwarves underground. May not be the best thing to do, but is there by chance an island nearby called Monte Cristo?
No.
Okay, so as long as this isn't the prison island called Chateau d'If, I think we're okay. Okay, let's head on to the market stalls, and we'll kind of peruse the worsted area. Oh, as a sailor, Vigo is interested to see if any of the ships in the harbor are actually like seaworthy, or is this harbor shut down across the coast because everything's been shut down? So all these wharfs should be emptied in disrepair, as well as
Yes.
any ships here, I would suspect, might be falling apart. But if they're not, that would be of interest to the sailor in Vigo.
um, there would be some that are still in good shape, but you see that they are just like um shops essentially. You know, like the wares are out and they're just people are just there. The anchors are obviously there. They're barnacle ridden on the ship.
Okay,
There
so
are
they haven't left.
giant,
They haven't left the pier in a while.
yeah, there are giant chain link gates blocking off any entry and exit from the harbor.
Okay, good to know. Um, might be worth investigating that, because if we could take this over, that'd be a sizable port. If we could liberate the city, that would be a sizable port for uh, normal ground troops to be brought in through. If we could liberate one of these two entrances and then make this port open again, that would be a great coup for us. All right. Silas, are we looking for anything in particular as we peruse the market area and walk along?
I would say we're looking for any magical stalls and see if there's anything that would be of interest to like anything of interest that we haven't seen on our journey so far.
Nothing really out of the ordinary. A lot of food stalls, things like that. Some mundane items. Um, so- some alchemists selling some potions, things like that. But nothing's really um extraordinary, we'll say.
Are we seeing mostly humans in the stalls or as the sellers, or are there, um, what are we seeing for population? Is everybody here human?
Yeah, it's
Are there
mostly human.
halflings? Okay. Didn't know if elves and dwarves or anything. Was there anything? And then I guess another question: do we know the dragon rider's name or the dragon's name?
You would know both.
Okay.
You would know that the dragon rider's name is Shalila.
Female.
Yep, I'll type it in. It should be in
Okay.
the writer's
Yeah,
distinct note.
we know Sheila. Sheila. She's
Shalila.
a powerful spellcaster,
And
and the Topaz Dragon is a shape-shifting dragon that enjoys hit and run and stealth and sneak tactics.
the dragon's
Okay.
name is Toladur.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
the Dragon Riders of Saint Gregorie 1.
Okay, that's fine. I guess the question would be, thank you, sir. Both, actually, thank you. Does anybody, do we overhear any conversations that might mention the name of the Dragon Rider or them or the dragon itself?
No.
Okay, so they don't seem to be a topic of conversation.
Nope.
Have we
Okay.
seen anybody do any type of magic, even for just mundane things?
A little bit here and there. Nothing
Okay.
serious.
So it's not devoid, which would be weird.
Correct.
And it was arcane magic or divine magic?
You see mostly like divine magic.
Okay. Okay. So we're still believing that open display of arcane magic might be frowned upon?
It doesn't look like. Did we see no arcane magic?
Like you see smatterings here and there.
Yeah. So it's probably just not common, but it's not. It doesn't seem like it's illegal.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. Um, okay. But is there any sign that the Dragon Rider and Dragon reside here, or do we think they reside somewhere else and the mayor runs this place? Because we've seen like with Aendes and the White Dragon and some others that either they either take a direct hand in it and just have a puppet, or they completely devoid of the area. Do we see a sign that the dragon and dragon rider have visited any time in the past, or there's accommodations for the dragon to land in different places?
No. Not from where you guys have been so
Okay, that's fine. Um, I mean, we can continue walking through the town. I don't see there's no reason we can't do a circuit through the civilian area, but I don't know that we're going to get anywhere close to the keep due to the gate walls, and I'm presuming this gate is very heavily guarded,
Yes.
much like its opposite gate was, keeping the keep itself isolated. Um, uh,
So somewhere down near the prison area,
Mhm.
when we're looking at shops down there, I want to ask the question of like, in Hope's roundabout way of uh, basically being like, "Oh, you're near the prison. That must be kind of scary for like if prison breaks happen. Has a prison break ever happened before?"
One of the older merchants goes, in my 40 years of being here, I've never heard of a prisoner escaping. They're all treated very fairly, and they all have a chance to gain freedom from the arena.
None of them have been like a little like crazy and have gotten out.
Some of the more
Like,
severe ones have gone crazy, sure, but to my knowledge, there's never been a jailbreak.
hmm, are there a lot
interesting.
of are there a lot of the prisoners like, or is it just usually a small sampling and most people either get out or
A lot of it's usually like petty theft. Very, very rare. Well, about 10 years ago, we did have a serial killer. Uh, he was
Oh,
he was pretty violent. They called him
but there's not many people that end up going into the prison.
not a whole lot. No, I feel like it's mostly useless. But every once in a while, you get a little thief that tries to swipe a bauble here or there. Some people aren't content with what they have.
well, I think it's terrible people like that who give thieves a bad name.
I agree completely. The thieves are just bad in general.
Bad thieves are
Besi-
bad in general.
Besides the guards, have we seen anybody that? This is probably more of a Vigo question, but figured it out. Is there a thieves guild presence? I was thinking more like, is there anyone eyeing the stalls that aren't guards and that aren't just another merchant?
Looking around, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of thieves guild like activity going on. Like Vigo hasn't noticed any markings or anything like that.
Okay. Hmm, okay. Are there any pubs or taverns, or
Oh yeah,
have you seen anything like that?
there's
Or
taverns, there's inns, all that.
okay.
Where are they located?
Um, they're mostly in the residential district.
Check out the one district we haven't looked at yet.
Yep. So there's a big old inn in the middle here. And there's also actually on the in the outskirts of the city, there's another big inn out there as well for those who aren't going into the city or don't want to stay inside the city.
Okay.
So what's this?
That
That's
is
the major
another
barrack.
barracks on the opposite side. Just to keep eyes on both sides of the ocean. Just to be on the safe
Um, about how many people would live in this city? And then the second follow-up question is going to be about how large a guard force would we expect to see, let's say, in comparison to the original Little Silver Inn at the Black Dragon with Iandus.
This city's
Just kind
definitely
of compare
larger
and
than
contrast.
Iandis' city.
Okay.
Um, I would say probably close to 10,000 people,
Wow.
including the little slums on the outside here.
Okay. So about how big if they turned out the guard force to man the walls, rough guess how many guards do we think would be standing on the wall? An orc invasion occurs, they call out the whole guard force. What are we guesstimating would be the guard force that turns out on the walls?
You ask,
Given a
I'll
population
say
of
you asking
10,000.
your fellow players or me?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Easily a few hundred people.
Okay.
Maybe less if they're highly trained, and maybe more if they're not as trained. And they
That's fine.
always have a dragon and its rider to call upon if need be.
Sure, makes perfect sense. Okay.
That's
So a siege is not necessarily a good idea, but you got to admit, with croplands all around, you could theoretically show up just before harvest time and probably deprive the city of a good amount of food income while supporting the sieging army. So, and with 10,000 mouths to feed, the city might run out of food kind of fast. Okay. Just thinking out loud to myself and in quietly inside Vigo's head. Okay. Silas, any questions we haven't kind of answered or places we haven't poked around?
I can think about. The only other place I kind of want to go try to check is the mayor's mansion or the barracks. Not the barracks, the inner gate. But I think that's going to be more of a stealth mission we're going to have to do.
You mean this thing or
Yeah.
this thing? Okay.
More, I want to see how we can check out this thing.
Okay. A
Check
phony
out,
bun.
check out the keep.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
roughly how tall are the walls around the keep?
30 feet.
15, 30 feet. Okay. All right. So that's why we're having a little trouble seeing over them to really get a view of the keep itself.
Yeah, the keep is above the walls, but you really can't see like the courtyard or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't expect to. Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Wanna walk the keep?
Well, like I said, it's a question of doing it, but it's so I guess my question for Silas as we sort of walk and talk quietly through the town, um, what do we gain by going to see the mayor?
I mean, I don't think we can pull up and just be like, "Hey, we're come to liberate this town." I don't think that's going to be helpful for this time. I think we need to figure out. I think we need to figure out when the last time the Dragon Rider was here.
Okay.
But sorry, I maybe I missed it. I know we kind of talked about it, but they said there is somebody did give some information about that, if I remember correctly, or am I misremembering just a few minutes ago?
The information we received a few minutes ago was there does not seem to be any sort of place set aside like a large open field or a courtyard area that would specifically accommodate the dragon landing on a routine basis. So if the dragon rider and the dragon do arrive, they may just land inside the keep, but there's no like central park, so to speak, that is kept clear all the time because that's where the dragon would land. That was really the question I was asking earlier, but and no one is talking about the dragon or the rider as we've been walking around town and the city. We haven't overheard any conversations referencing either one of them. So either they're a rare sight, um, or the people don't really think too much of them. So it's either, yeah, I guess that's my point. So,
Yeah, I get it.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Okay, so we've figured this out. So heavy church presence in the city, but not so much outside the city. A little less of a church presence. Are we still seeing in the market square area around the wharf front?
There's
Are we
some,
still
but
seeing?
not as much. Most of the clergy seems to keep in the church ward,
Okay, that's fine. Right. And
and you
then
didn't see
we
a whole
were
lot outside the city because you were mainly like up here on the outer road.
right.
So take that or leave that as you.
Well, no, that's fine. And like I said, I would expect to see more inside the church ward. Over here. Um, that would kind of be the thing, and I would expect as we get, uh, into the residential area, we would probably see less iconography. They'll have a few that will have a big symbol on the house, or will probably wear their symbol, but I don't think it's so. It doesn't seem like the city is run and controlled entirely by the church. It seems to be more of a normal city, where you have your different wards as such. Um, is there any iconography we saw of any other religions, or is it Bane or nothing?
Bane or nothing.
Okay, that's right. That's fine. Okay. So I guess my next question would be, what is our? So we've checked out the city. Um, it is held by the church loosely. At best, I think it's a loose church hold over the whole city, um, without going inside the keep and checking that out. Um, which I'm not sure what we benefit from that on right now. I guess my next question is: do we go looking for the dragon's lair or anything? Um, People don't seem to be complaining about the dragon and the dragon rider. They seem to be fairly happy, or at least content. Yes or no, Mr. DM?
Yeah, they seem to be fairly content.
Okay. So they're not as depressed or oppressed as like Iandus, um, where we started, because he just kind of ruled with an iron thumb, and the Emerald Dragon city was very much under the thumb, if I recall correctly, because of who was there. Um, that's my thoughts. So I don't know. Do we need any more information out of the city for right now?
Um,
I'll be right back.
Yep. This is just us discussing, I presume.
So mood goes when you were asking about or not Hope
Hope.
is thinking about when you're asking about the number of guards in the city. And I was like, there's like hundreds, right?
Sure.
Hundreds of guards, and mood was Hope was like, I was like, how would Hope react to that? And Hope was like, that's like an hour's worth of work.
I guess the question becomes, what work would Hope be doing on the guards, or
It would
to the
take
guards?
Hope to get all of the guards in cells in that jail. And I mean every single one. They can get about 1,000 guards in a cell in about an hour. Then they're all dead asleep.
Okay. All right. So if we wanted to remove the guard force, it would take Hope about an hour to do so.
Take about an hour to do so.
Okay. Well, that's a good piece of data to have.
From wherever they are.
Right. No, I understand that part. I got that part too. I'm appreciative of that clarification. Don't know that us doing somebody dropped out.
Okay, say that again. I my connection dropped for a second. I missed most of it.
Sorry, I was asking Silas if his thoughts on what we could do to the city, and it seems to, from Vigo's perspective, the church does not have an ironclad hold over the city. So the people seem content. They're not actively rebellious or disgruntled against the Rider and the Dragon. Maybe given the nature of the dragon, we might find more information about that among the farmers, given that the dragon tends to want to destroy things. Perhaps it's not the city folk that would be our source of the revolutionaries. Maybe it's the farmers, because if the dragon destroys crops, they spend a whole season trying to grow the crops, and then the dragon comes along and wipes them out, and the farmers are disgruntled about that.
Sure.
But we've looked at the city, but
Or
I don't see the city as a hotbed of revolution waiting for someone to throw a match at it.
Right. But
You know.
if we ask the farmers something about the dragon, and even if they've seen the dragon come in, it blows something up with necrotic energy of doom, and then leaves. That's probably the best we're gonna get out of them. Maybe a direction. Whereas, I think if we ask the mayor, because the mayor has to deal with Shalila. The mayor has to deal directly, or at least pseudo directly, with Shalila. So he would probably he would probably it's Ralnor. So yeah, they would probably have the most information on if we're looking for them.
Possibly. I'm just trying to think outside the box here, but like I said, I think if we wanted to draw the dragon and the rider's attention, we would start some kind of kerfuffle within the city itself.
You mean like taking the church and putting it in the harbor?
That's a bit big. Let's not start with that big a move
actually,
first.
Yeah, if we make a big disruption, have the Dragon Rider come in, because this place isn't filled with crime, as you've been saying. There's no revolution that we can stir up. It might just be that we have to cause a huge commotion and have the Dragon Rider come up.
Well, so there's nothing bad going on here, which feeds into our earlier points of the Dragon Rider might not be a bad person.
Well, we just proved that with the White Dragon Rider.
Exactly. So
we kind of
Yeah. So because of that, we might not want to first find the Dragon Rider. Well, we should confirm if they're a good person or not, right?
Okay. So hold on.
It's seeming like it's seeming like they could be a good person, since there's no oppression, there's nothing inherently super evil going on right now. So it could easily fall in that category of, this is a person, they're controlled by Aiden. We probably want to free them if we're good people.
Okay, well, I would refer back to something that I recall Melisande saying earlier, when she said, the Topaz Dragons, they dislike company and grow irritated when they're disturbed.
And as you go to look at Melisande to verify that this is what she said, you turn around and she's gone.
Well, she must be off shopping for something.
Where did she go?
That was the next question I was going to ask. But okay, did we lose her at some point? Did we? So now we have to go back and find her. Thought she was right here. When is the last time I recall seeing her with us?
When you were heading into the church building's shop.
Okay. So I'm stepping out of game for a second. Has she been removed because Mel stepped away from the game for the evening? Or have you removed her because there's something going on in game where we have to go find her and
So-
she is missing?
Something is going
Which
on
one
in
of-
game.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. And I can play it that way. It's like, okay, so she didn't leave the religious area with us. We should go back and look for her. Let's go try to find her. Hope, can you do anything to locate her without drawing too much attention to us? You're muted.
Oh, I'm gonna teleport to Melisande.
What? Well, don't do it right here in the middle of the street. Eric, you're cutting in and out. I see you.
Can your teleportation be blocked by anything?
No.
Okay. So as you teleport to Melisande, you arrive in this massive cavern with the Topaz Dragon and you're guessing the Dragon Rider as they're having a conversation with Melisande.
Oh, you did a good job. You found them. I said to Mel.
Technically, she found me.
But there's a lot of time. Is she a good person?
That's still up for debate, but I think I'm safe.
Okay. How are they reacting to Hope being there?
She's looking at you like with surprise. 'Cause she's like, and she'll even say that she's like, I didn't think anybody could teleport past my wards.
Ah, it's just semantics. And then I teleport back to Miko.
Okay.
I'm sure that that would have no repercussions at all.
Sure. Okay. All right. Let's see. So, again, I'll repeat my question to Hope. Is there anything you can do to help us locate Melisande?
Oh, I found her.
With-
That's where I went for 7 seconds.
So you went to go find her?
Yeah, I found her. And then I came back. She said she was safe.
Okay. She was sitting in a cafe enjoying a baked roll and a cup of calf
She was at
or
a
tea.
big cave.
She's in a big cave, and she
Big
said
cave.
she's big cave.
said
and she
she's
said
safe.
she's safe. I
Yes.
see.
Said
Okay.
she's safe. She was probably talking to the Dragon Rider. And the dragon. There was the dragon there, so it's probably the Dragon Rider she was talking to. She said she was safe. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I came back here.
I see. Okay. Now you went to a big cave. So,
Yep.
any idea where that big cave is, or is it just big cave?
Oh, it's where is it?
Literally underneath the city.
Okay. And I say, oh, it's right here. And then I just point down.
I see. Okay. Did
I asked Mel if the Dragon Rider was a good person, and she says she's unsure, but not leaning heavily either way.
okay? That's fine.
She's got to suss it out first. And that's why I left her to suss it out.
I see. Okay. Okay. Was she comfortable? Was she sitting on something? Was she standing?
She didn't seem like she was trying to kill the Dragon Rider. It seems like they were having a conversation. Then I popped in and looked, and they're like, oh. I was like, how you doing? She was like, I feel safe. I feel okay. And then I asked her the question. She said, She was unsure. I was like, okay, gotcha. And then I came back.
Okay, that's always good to know information. Well, we found the dragon and the rider. So why don't we let our Drake Warden do what Drake Wardens do and communicate with Drakes? And I'll still complain that we don't have a Warforged with us, because they're just unreliable all the time. And when you need one, you don't have one. I mean, not having a Warforged around when you need one is kind of like having. Well, there's Clarence. But look, Clarence was a Warforged, and look how much good Clarence did us. You know, um, yes, that's correct. We can never have a Search for Archie episode with Hope around. Nice try though. The so yeah, so we not having Warforged, might as well just have Clarence here with us because that's about how much good they're doing. Okay, so well, crisis averted. We shall allow our Drake Warden. I believe recommend that we allow our Drake Warden to finish. Why don't we take a stroll through the residential area just to say we've been and visited all these sites? And I still think that we could take a look in the countryside and maybe find out if the farmers have anything to say. When the DM is done typing, I would ask, were there any fishing vessels in the harbor that seemed to be going out and making a living fishing in the local waters?
No.
Really? Okay, so they're
Yep.
not even fishing.
They don't even fish in this little port here because the gates are always up, so they cannot leave.
Okay. Okay. You said there were heavy chains
Yes.
across the harbor? Okay, so they're not. It's not like a wall that would keep fish out. It is just chains that keep
Yeah, like
boats from
there
going
may be
back and
fish
forth.
swimming around in the harbor, and I'm sure there are, but nobody fishes for a living here. Or
Okay.
if they do, they're
So
not doing it in the harbor.
you never want to fish in the harbor. Trust me. But you don't want to know what goes in the harbor. You don't want to eat the fish that come out of the harbor. Um, okay. And I say that as a sailor. Uh, okay, so I think that maybe we get maybe we wander through the residential area, checking it out. Exit by this gate here, and maybe wander up to go check out this little village area, and see. I guess see what the farmers in the area think about what's going on. Maybe the more common folk would have a little more to say or feel less restricted. So we could suss out a better idea of how the people feel about the dragon and the rider.
Yeah. Yeah. We should also take a look at the slums area so that we can
Sure.
see maybe like all these people could be considered like rich and they're ignoring the poor. So maybe that's the evil part.
Perhaps let's yeah, that's okay. So when we do that, we can go kind of check some of the slums out or the outside village, outside the city locations. That's my thought. Silas, would you agree or disagree with that concept?
You can go along with it. Um, yeah, I'll agree.
Okay. If you two will quit chattering away in chat, we can go ahead and move forward. All right. So there is our plan. Mr. World's Greatest DM, please relay to us what we see as we wander along.
Excuse me. So as you're wandering along the residential district, for better or worse, it's a little bit more run down, obviously, than the higher end district or even the church district. But it's not bad either. It's definitely better than what you've seen in other cities. You make your way past the tavern in the middle of the area as well, and it's not run down at all. It's hopping. There's plenty of people drinking, having a good time. Nobody even is really belligerent. Um, people are maybe getting a little rowdy after they get a little couple drinks in, but nothing too bad. Um, you do see this occasional like carpentry shop or things like that. Simple shops for mundane everyday household needs.
Okay.
But nothing that's hey, we need to go in here and shop. You're going out this gate here.
Yes, the southeast gate here, proceeding east along this road to this, and then north, and we kind of wanted to wind up in this area, talk to farmers or anybody in this outlying who may be tending the fields, and see if people, but A, give us a chance to kind of look at the slums a little bit, and then see if the people or farmers would maybe have some commentary that the city folk
Okay.
wouldn't. Would these people be more willing to talk about the dragon or the bride, or just say, hey, when's the last time that you've seen the dragon? We haven't seen the dragon near our little village for a while.
Okay. Yeah. So walking out, the guards, nod at you and tell you to have a well. Thank you for coming. Enjoy your visit. Have a great day. Um, and as you see, like the little slum area over here, it's not even that slummy. It's just it's you can tell it's people coming and going all the time. They're not maintaining residency there for a very long time. Doesn't seem to be like sickness spreading throughout or anything like that. It just seems, it's a cheaper option, so that's what they're doing. Um, the the fields seem well taken care of as you progress down the little trail to this house here, or this area here, I should say. Once again, it's you pass by the odd and end person, but nobody's you know giving you death threats or death stares or anything like that. You get to that area, and it is a I don't want to I'm gonna say the word plantation because it's a huge farm. But there's not slaves, you know what I mean? There are different houses and whatnot, and there seems to be people living there. There's children running around playing, have a good time. There are people out working in the fields. Um, Nobody seems to be working against their will though in this area. Um, the blue house though is definitely more well off than the rest of them, but none of them are ramshackle or busted down or anything like that.
Okay, well, makes sense. Silas, did you want to approach anybody and open a conversation?
Or,
Silas?
um, no, sorry. I'll approach somebody and be like, "Hey, how is everything going? Is there? I'm just curious if you guys have. I've heard that there's a dragon rider in the area. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah, she's popped over, once in a while, make sure we're doing okay, things like that. She was over about a week ago, so I expect to see her within the next week or so. Drops by every other week or so. Yeah. She doesn't usually bring her dragon with her though. It's usually
Okay.
just her.
I hear that the dragon riders are pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, I'm glad she's out here protecting us.
Okay.
What was the last thing she protected you from?
I'm sorry, what was that? You cut out a little bit.
What was the last thing that she protected them from?
Let me bring up a random monster.
Because before in the other areas there were no the monsters like I think Aiden hunted all the monsters into oblivion or something in his area or something.
Yeah, there's not usually um too much going on as far as creatures go. Um he'll tell you though that every once in a while that uh, uh the onkegs, every once in a while onkegs will show up.
Oh, okay. Oh, those are terrible things. Oh, great, horrible beast coming up underneath like that, and bane of all good farmers.
Well, I lost a few workers last time they popped up. It wasn't good.
No, they're terrible. It's good that you have her around to get rid of them quickly when they do show up. It isn't that right. There, thump Silas in the leg.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. We just had a few questions. We might have to go back to the city and stay the night just to see if we can get a glimpse of them.
Oh, you're more than welcome to stay here on the farm tonight. Could always use an extra pair of hands with the harvest. I'll pay you.
Oh, what do you say? Do you want?
I'm good and I'm good. I don't really till the soil anymore. It's old back injury, but thank you for that.
Young whippersnapper like you with a back injury? Oh, I'm telling you, you kids these days are weak and frail.
I have an 8 in strength. Yeah.
Hope wants to help the farm.
What was that?
What
Hope
kind of
wants to help
crops are?
the farm.
Oh, Hope does.
Yes, Hope wants to help the farm.
I
Okay.
see. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you. And they'll hand over a couple silver pieces and tell you to go out on the field. And Joey's out there working on the field, and they can give you some pointers.
Oh, I'm. Vigo wouldn't know one end of a sickle from the other, so he would be no help whatsoever. But happy to supervise. So if there's a rock wall or a wood fence or whatever, he's happy to climb up on one of the top railing or the top of the wall and sit and watch whatever it is that Hope's about to do.
So I'm gonna go over to the guy that the old farmer pointed me to.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm here to help. What are we doing?
Well, right now we're prepping the field for harvest. It'll be ready
So
in a
it's
couple
ready
days.
to be
Yeah,
harvested. Oh, it's ready to be harvested.
just about.
Lovely.
You see how
So
the
what do you
stalks
want?
are almost a nice golden brown? That's how you know.
Hi. So what would you like me to do?
So if you see any that are like this, but just a little bit more golden brown, feel free to harvest them. And you see he does have a small bundle. Um, and some of the stalks are harvested. It looks like they're harvesting corn and wheat. Um, he says just go up and down the rows, and if it looks like it's done, go ahead and harvest it. If you're not sure, call me over. I'll take a look.
So Hope takes the sickle
Yep.
and just kind of swings it once, and then all the corn she thinks is or they think is correct just appear behind her.
So if it's ripe, if it's ready to be harvested, it appears behind her.
Correct.
So just look around. You see, like probably about 3/4 of this field is just instantly harvested. Joe looks at you and goes, "Can you teach me how to do that?"
Yes. Yes, I can.
That seems like a useful skill to have.
It is. I think. So I guess he wants me to teach him how to do that. I can teach him the steps into getting there. I say it takes quite a long time.
Well, I'll practice every day if I can harvest like that.
may require travel.
I wonder if I can get some vacation time. Where do I gotta go?
Anywhere.
He walks about 10 steps. Goes, that good?
Gotta keep going.
All right, we'll have to talk to the boss first.
Okay. You come back to me when you have your vacation days all set.
Can do. Where can I find you?
I give him the sickle and just think of me while holding this. And I will come to you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And then I go back to Silas and Vigo. That took a minute. Well, that was fun.
You gonna stop at just the one field?
Hopefully that doesn't get us noticed by.
I mean, that's what, isn't that what he wanted me to do? Could do more. I don't know if he wants me to do more.
Vigo turns around and looks at the farmer.
Just look at the farmer.
Was that it?
It's like, you just saved like 3 days of harvest in one go. Like, thanks.
Of course.
I'm Gimdan, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Hope.
Hope, it's been a genuine pleasure.
Same.
It's been a pleasure too. Anyway, thanks for that. We need to get on our way, but Vigo is curious as to how many steps Hope's going to get to take before Jimmy holds the sickle and thinks of Hope, and then Hope winds up, getting the bell ring in the back of her head or whatever it is and says,
Yep.
Jimmy wants you. So I'm Vigo's betting less than 10 steps.
I was going to say, what's the over-under on this?
10. Actually, the over-under is 9. So, Vigo's bidding under on that one. But he's just bidding quietly to himself. So, okay. Jim Dan's farm. Okay. So we're gonna head back into the city, or what's the plan here? Actually, once we depart. Anything else we need to do before we head home?
Unless I think what we should do is, unless Mel comes back dead,
that would be a bad thing.
Which would be a bad thing. Which would be a horrible thing. I think maybe we should err on the side of the Dragon Rider's a good person from what we've seen in this city. We can err on the Dragon Rider's a good person. I think we should try to figure out how to break their curse so that we don't have to kill them.
Okay.
Right? Because we don't want to kill them, right? If they're a good person,
well,
best not to kill them.
Vigo's vote would be correct based on the interaction with the White Dragon Rider most recently, as compared to the interaction with Iendis originally. Question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Vigo is currently carrying summoning stones for Archie and summoning stones for Iendis. Do they just pulse, or do you speak a brief message into one of them?
Summoning or sending?
It says summoning stone for Archie and Iandis. Let me check my.
I think it's
over
like the
here.
beacon stones where it wasn't quite
Yeah,
a sending
it
stone. It was like
says, yeah.
it was like
Okay.
we need you, and it did something.
Right. So it's I have a. So I'm sorry. I have a pair of summoning stones. Raedra has one of those stones, and Vigo's carrying the second one, and he has a second pair of summoning stones. So one was for Iandis and one was for Archie. And I'm trying to remember, do we speak into them and they transmit a little message, or is it more like a beeper where you activate the stone and the other stone just beeps or pulses or whatever, and the recipient knows that the only time that stone gets beeped, you go to the original stone.
I would think
So-
those were supposed to be summoning or sending stones, not summoning stones. But we'll say they do the purpose of a sending stone. Um, but they will feel a strong tug in the location of where the other one is.
So okay, so my thought.
Since
So
I
one thought I
genuinely
have.
don't remember because that was a long time ago.
That's fine, and I'm okay with that. If they just act as a pulse that gives you a strong tug in the direction, because the only person was like Iandis had one and Archie had the other, and if Iandis activated it, that just summoned Archie. That was as simple as that. Um, but my thought was if we give one stone to Melisande, then if she needs to leave wherever she is, she pulses it, and then Hope just goes and gets her. But that way, she can stay and have her conversation as long as she needs to. But if she gets in trouble, she hits the pulse, and then Hope goes and pulls her out. Just my thought. Or we wait, and either Mel's going to come find us again, or she's going to be returned to us somehow, because I don't know how she got. Vigo doesn't understand how Mel got to the cave to begin with. So I'm thinking there must have been some kind of magic involved. So maybe she'll be returned in the same manner. So maybe we go back to the inn and the living or the residential district and figure that Mel will determine for guess that's the most logical place we'd go. Silas, your thoughts or comments? And Hope, your thoughts and comments?
The inn sounds good. I don't know if the stones are super necessary. But yeah, no, yeah. Maybe. I mean, if I was really worried, could leave the being floating above. I could pull Silas's girlfriend away from him, put it on Mel if we really wanted to.
Just thinking, like I said, I'm not sure because again, Vigo does not understand how Mel got from the religious candle shop to the big cave in the first place. Mel can't do it on her own, as far as Vigo knows. Who knows? So there must have been some kind of magic involved. But and then I don't know when the conversation ends. Not sure how does she tell us that she needs to come back, or would whatever magic took her to the big cave just reverse and send her back to the candle shop, and then Mel would figure out maybe or guess that maybe we're in the big inn. So that's all I'm thinking. And if we go to the inn, Vigo can play the crayon dice and uh, what are the ball game and see if there's anybody in town that would have a chat with him. Silas, concerns, comments?
Sorry, my throat is on fire.
I'm
I think
sorry.
that all sounds good. I especially like the part of staying at the inn and drumming up, seeing if we have um, any of your contacts.
Okay. I guess this conversation, I presume, is being held as we walk away from Jim Dan's farm back toward the city, and we'll just tell the guards that we realize it's too late to travel and get home by tonight, so we decided to stay at the inn overnight. Because they saw us leave, we're showing back up again. Might
Yep.
get a little weird.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, not a problem. I'll let you back in. You have the symbols on you still, so
Oh yeah, definitely display that on the way in, especially Silas.
Ugh.
looks good on you, Silas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
All the black. Yeah.
good guys wear black. Okay. So I'd say head to the inn. You gave it names earlier. Do we got here? Yes, I figured Wiggly Fingers was involved in how Mel disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all you Wiggly Fingers. When I wiggle my fingers, different things happen. But it ain't magic. It's just I'm that damn good. And that takes years of practice. And there's some travel involved too, because sometimes when you're getting good, you're not too good, and you make mistakes, and then people go looking for you. And you don't want to be found by those people. That's a bad thing. So you travel a lot too. Oh yeah, I've traveled. Been healthy to travel. Um, hopefully, forget about what you look like for a while. Okay, and like I said, there was a note about the name of the inns. The frothy barrel or something. The frothy
The the foamy bone. It's on the map.
foamy bone. There. Okay, thank you, Rich. So we'll go find a. Yeah, I'd rather stay at the foamy bone than the sickly mug, or the sticky mug. Less likely to catch something at the sticky mug, I think. Okay. And Vigo will do his little thief scant with the red cube, the green pencil, and rolling the blue die from one hand to the other, kind of absent-mindedly, while enjoying a bowl of stew and a mug of their finest. Whatever Hope would like, and whatever Silas and Vigo will treat them. And presuming Silas is going to brood, and so he'll just probably have a bowl of stew and a mug of something as well. And sorry about your sore throat, buddy. Hope it gets better.
It's all good. It's just I had some tea, so it should be a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, stew and a mug of ale is always welcome, though.
Yep, few copper part pieces of a room for the night. That will be 1 gold each.
Okay, Vigo will cover everything. Okay.
You're given
So-
room keys. Excuse me. Vigo, roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier to it. So just do a dex check for me.
A dex check.
Yeah, you're pretty good at those.
Big reliable talent on that.
You rolled an 11, right?
Yeah, I did.
So, yeah. So as you're sitting there playing with your dice, you almost lose it a couple times, but just sitting there, kind of watching around. Out of the corner eye, you see that somebody does slip you a small piece of paper, underneath a coin as they walk by.
Okay. And we'll make that disappear with fast hands.
Mhm.
And take a peek at it under the table.
It's just a simple little note that says, "Careful what you do. Docks, 10 p.m. G.
Okay. And I will rearrange the string and I'm sorry, the pencil and the red ball, and I'll leave the die in front of me, but I'll take the other two things off the table and just kind of leave the die with the 3 symbol up, and the 3 up and the 1 facing away from me, which indicates that I've received a message. So, okay, and I will say no meeting, 10 p.m. I guess the question would be, what time is it now, and how long do we have to wait?
Got a couple hours.
Okay. So start nursing the ale, because I don't want to drink too many of them, and or switch to hot tea, so that I'm not inhibited or impaired when going to make the meeting. And there's a lot of docks to cover, so presuming we'll find one that looks like it would be reasonable to go to. Okay. So that is my plan for now. But, Hope, is there anything you want to look at, or anybody of interest in the inn other than us?
Not that you pick out.
Normal dinner crowd. Okay. Is there a singer tonight by chance, or anyone playing for their dinner?
There is a singer, not the greatest.
Happy to kind of while away the time. If there's nothing else to do, we can sit here at the table or go upstairs. But 10 o'clock we need to be at the docks. So if there's something you guys want to do between now and then, step in, please.
We could brainstorm. How do we free the Dragon Rider?
That's probably a conversation best not held in the bar.
I mean, looking around.
That's a conversation we should not hold in the bar. I'm just going to say that, period, and say, in my experience, that's not the conversation to hold in the bar. So we can go up, we've paid for the rooms. We can go sit in one of the rooms and we can have that conversation. I got no problem with that, but I don't want to do it here in public.
Okay. Up we go.
Okay, so you head to your room. Rooms. You have multiple rooms.
We will just. So are the 3 rooms side by side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I pick the middle one so that no one's listening to the wall on either side of us. Okay, so go in, find a seat on something, the bed or a chair or a bench or a chest of whatever. Okay. The floor is open. Go ahead.
There's simple rooms. There's a bed, a little like nightstand, chair, and like a writing desk.
Okay.
A wardrobe.
So we know that we've seen a Dragon Rider get freed 2 ways, right? One through soul trading magic, and the other through some sort of lawful god magic, lawful dragon god magic. He did something.
Yeah, well, we freed one by killing them.
Yes, and you can kill them.
So
Well,
that's
actually, we don't know if that actually frees them. They're just not our problem anymore.
there you go.
Do you want me to go see if they're free?
No, like I said, Melisande is having her conversation, and I feel like if she needs me or
No,
us,
I mean I could go talk to what was it? Iandus?
Iandus was the first one that we slew before
Correct.
Hope was around.
You want me to
And
go
Mood
talk to
had
Iandus to see if he's free of his curse?
Can you do that?
Yes, probably. I haven't tried yet.
That would have been a skill that we, nice to know. I got no problem. Silas? Silas, what do you think? You okay with this?
He's essentially saying he's going to go to another plane to try to hit up Iandus. So, sure, as long as we're not involved.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay.
Okay.
As long as Hope hitting up Iandus' spirit is not like Mood hitting up Iandus or hitting on Iandus' spirit.
Is Iandus hot? I feel like
No.
Iandus wasn't hot enough to bang.
Hold on,
Otherwise, I would have.
let me bring up my
Mood would have tried to bang them.
deceased members of Gregorie, Iandus.
I feel like Mood would have
No,
tried
he
to
was
bang them.
not.
Right. Mood.
No.
Iandus wasn't hot enough to bang. I remember that.
Just want to make sure.
Cedavan, however, definitely was.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that handsome man. Look at his glory.
I'll poof next to Iandus.
As you do.
Or like, I guess, yeah. So give me a synopsis. Of
Yeah.
what
So
happens.
as
So I
you
can put it-
tried an attempt to poof next to Iandus, you
What plane
appear.
do I end up on?
Well, you appear next to your aunt or Boo's aunt, whatever relation is to you.
Yes, aunt. Well, so this would be sister.
Yes, so your sister. She goes, you know you're not supposed to go there. That is my realm.
Did the soul not pass on yet?
He did pass
Oh,
on.
right. You're throwing him to what? Hell? Heaven? Someone took him. Or is he still in limbo?
He's working on redeeming himself.
Okay, so he's in one of the upper planes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is he free? Is the soul free?
From the prior bonds, yes.
Do you know how Lendy's broke the bond from the one that we just fiddled around with? Because that's the point of me going over there, is trying to figure out how to break those bonds.
The magic is still beyond you to be able to do that. Lendis is able to do it because Lendis is able to do it because he was young enough. So Thelum was young enough where it could be done.
Thelum was the
White dragon.
The dragon themselves was the
Yes.
bond holder, not the rider?
Yes. Once the bond was broken for the dragon, the rider was also free.
So how did he break it?
I do not know.
That's the question I'm looking for. I know I probably can't do it yet.
Well, maybe you
That's
should
the
go
more of the
talk
question
to
of-
Lendis yourself.
Do you really think it'd be a good idea for me to show up there?
I never said it would be a good idea.
I'm trying to get the paladin to ask these questions, but it's hard.
He has his own free will, his own
He does.
viewpoint on what needs to be done.
Very true.
It's amusing watching you with your new companions.
Right.
Very
Sure.
entertaining.
Yeah. So you're not sure how it did it. Do you have any idea who would know that wouldn't kill me on the spot for showing up?
No one comes to mind, unfortunately.
I talked to Tiamat. She might. She likes me better than I understood.
She's a little cranky right now. I wouldn't do that.
She's always cranky.
Well, there was a botched summoning on another plane, so you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Good cultists are hard to find these days.
Maybe later. I will poof back to the party.
All right.
Did get free, so at least we can know that their souls are freed from the bond in death. And we now also know that I also found out that it's the dragon has the bond, so it has something to do with the dragon, not the rider, but the dragon themselves. So if we sever the bond has to do with the dragon and Aiden. It seems like the rider is a secondary, like a latch.
Okay, that's interesting. Could it be something to do with the accelerated growth and maturation that the dragons are put through?
I mean, probably. It's probably all baked into some annoying package. And apparently, the older you get, the harder it is to break. The older the dragon gets, the harder it is to break. And I have no idea how to break it.
Okay. Uh, all right. So
We just need to
what
know
is our
how old
plan?
the
So
dragon is.
I'm sorry,
Say that
say again?
We just need to know how old the dragon is and see if it's viable to do the Lindis, not Lindis, but do the God way or not.
I am still 100% on throwing as many chromatic dragons to Lendys as possible. I still think is a great idea.
I think we should ask the paladin before we do that and have some respect there.
That cuts half the fun.
The Warforge is currently shut down, so.
Well, that's why he's not with us right now, and why Beagle has been slowly trying to stretch out all the aches and pains he gets from all the insane workouts under Albero's tutelage. Um, the real question is, and I realize that, yes, hope, that would be one option, but how do we think Lindy's would feel upon coming to understand that the reason, he's being inundated with a large number of chromatic dragons simultaneously is because, these mortals or semi-mortal, are doing it intentionally. Are we likely to gain ire and turn Lindy's and therefore then Albero against us?
I'm hoping for the same reaction you get when you get a piece of free cake, but the only reason you got a piece of free cake is because the waiter thought you looked incredibly sad. That's the hope I'm getting. That's the reaction I hope I get from them.
You want Lindy's to take pity on us.
No.
Well, that's why
It's the reaction of
the waiter.
No, the waiter is us, and Lendy's is the patron. and they're getting the piece of cake in which he's getting dragons to convert to his cause, which is what I think he's doing. But the reason he's getting that, it's like that feeling I want him to have.
So Lindy's is supposed to understand that we feel pity on Lindy's.
It doesn't have to quite be pity, but it has to be that, like,
Well, that's what the waiter did.
he's getting a good thing, but it was from a source that he might not find completely appetizing.
So you want to find out if the dragons are getting converted to Lindy's cause? Go have a conversation with the
I
wife.
don't
Go
terribly
have a
care.
conversation.
I don't terribly what happens. I
Go
don't
have a
terribly care what happens with the dragon. I cannot talk to Lindy.
Go have a conversation with the white dragon who survived a conversation
He's
with
still with
Lindy's.
Lindy's? Isn't he?
Yes.
Still with Lindy's?
No,
Yeah, he's still with Lindy's.
Yeah,
No, I
when you
think
guys
I
finished
thought
everything, the white dragon was still with Lindy.
so. The dragon, so the Goliath left without her dragon
Mm-hmm.
and stepped through the departure portal without her dragon.
Correct.
Okay, I thought the dragon had returned
No.
and they had in parrot form and had gone with the dragon rider or ferret, whatever the
Nope.
critter was.
No, because I would have
Okay.
chased them down and been like, what did he do? We haven't seen behind those curtains yet.
Well, that would be the question. I would see. That's who I would go ask.
I am unable to get there without probably a lot of people dying. It wouldn't be a good idea.
Okay, so I'm not sure what else to do at this point other than wait for 10 o'clock and go have the
Yeah, we
meeting.
could. Yeah, I'm good to push to meeting.
And Mr. DM out of game. Are you coming up against the deadline?
Yeah, I was about to. When you guys were done talking, we were gonna end it. I will go over with Mel what she talks about with the Dragon Rider, and she
Why don't
can
we
let you
we'll
guys
do
in on that
the
next week.
conversation on the dock afterwards?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone,
Thanks,
for
everyone.
going in a little early tonight. I appreciate it.
Yep, agreed. And thank you, sir, for doing this. Okay, I think we did good
Always.
tonight, guys. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Silas, take care of that
Yes.
that cold or whatever it is you got. Get healthy again soon, my friend.
Everybody not feeling well, feel better.
We'll get there. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yes.